It was the deal of a lifetime. The kind of opportunity that could change your life forever. But as they say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. John should have known better, but the prospect of riches was just too tempting. He invested everything he had into the deal, hoping to make a quick profit. At first, everything seemed to be going well. The stock price was soaring, and John was on top of the world. But then, just as quickly as it had risen, the stock price plummeted. John watched in horror as his life savings disappeared before his eyes. He was devastated, but he refused to give up. He knew there had to be a better way to invest, a way to manage his risks and avoid the pitfalls of high-risk investments. That's when he discovered the world of stock options. With the help of a new book, John learned the difference between stocks and options, and how to use options to manage his risks and potentially generate consistent income over time. He discovered how to make money on a losing stock by using put options to protect himself from potential losses. And he learned that trading options was not the same as betting on horse races. It was based on analysis and strategy, rather than luck or chance. John's journey was not an easy one, and he didn't become a millionaire overnight. But with the tools and strategies outlined in the book, he was able to keep his losses to a minimum and potentially generate consistent income through trading stock options. This is a story about the dangers of high-risk investments and the importance of managing your risks. It's a story about learning from your mistakes and discovering a better way to invest. And it's a story that could potentially change your life forever. Are you ready to take the first step on your own investment journey? Then dive into this book and learn how to follow the trend, manage your risks, and potentially add to your income consistently through trading stock options. Chapter 1. You start trading options, and at first, it seems like you're on your way to making a fortune. Your nephew's advice was spot on, and you're feeling pretty confident. But then, the market takes a turn for the worse. Suddenly, the options you've invested in start losing value, and you're losing money fast. You panic and try to sell off your options before you lose everything, but it's too late. You've lost a significant portion of your retirement savings, and your dream of traveling the world is slipping away. Desperate to recoup your losses, you turn to a shady online trading platform that promises quick returns. You invest even more money, hoping to turn your luck around. But instead, you fall victim to a scam, and you lose even more. Feeling defeated, you start to wonder if you should have just stuck to the traditional route of investing in stocks. But then, you come across a group of experienced options traders who teach you the right way to trade. They show you how to manage your risks and make informed decisions. Slowly but surely, you start to see your losses turn into gains. You learn to use strategies like covered calls and put options to protect your investments and maximize your profits. And before you know it, you're back on track to achieving your retirement dreams. Through the ups and downs, you've learned an important lesson. Trading options can be a lucrative way to increase your income, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. With the right knowledge and discipline, it can be a powerful tool for building your nest egg and funding your dreams. Chapter 2. As you contemplate the potential rewards and risks of trading options, you can't shake the feeling that there's something off about this whole thing. You decide to do some more research and stumble upon a website that claims to have insider information about the stock market. The website offers a subscription service that promises to provide you with hot tips on which options to trade to make a quick profit. Curious and intrigued, you sign up for the service, hoping to gain an edge in the options market. The first few trades seem to be going well, and you're making some decent returns. But as time goes on, you start to notice a pattern. The tips you're receiving always seem to be one step behind the market, and you're consistently losing money. Frustrated and confused, you dig deeper into the website's background and discover that it's run by a group of scam artists who have been preying on novice traders like yourself. They're using fake insider information to lure unsuspecting individuals into trading options that are doomed to fail. Angry and betrayed, you vow to take down the scammers and get your money back. But as you delve deeper into the world of options trading, you realize that there are many other shady characters out there who are preying on people's desire to get rich quick. Will you be able to outsmart them and come out on top, Or will you be another victim of the options trading game? Chapter 3. As a seasoned trader, Jack knew the ins and outs of the stock market. He had been trading stocks for years and had made a fortune. But Jack was always looking for new ways to increase his profits. So, when he heard about options trading, he was intrigued. He spent hours researching the intricacies of options trading and felt confident in his ability to make a profit. Jack was ready to take the plunge. He decided to invest in a call option for a company that he believed was about to skyrocket. The option had an expiration date of 2 months, and Jack was excited to see how much he could make. Weeks passed, and the stock price was fluctuating, but Jack remained confident that it would rise. However, as the expiration date approached, Jack realized he had made a grave mistake. He had accidentally set the wrong expiration date for the option. Instead of 2 months, it was set to expire in 2 days. Panic set in as Jack realized that his investment was about to expire worthless. He watched helplessly as the stock price surged, but it was too late. Jack had lost his entire investment. Desperate to recoup his losses, Jack doubled down and invested in a put option, hoping to make a quick profit. But once again, Jack's luck was against him. The stock price rose, and Jack lost even more money. Determined not to give up, Jack invested in another call option, but he made a crucial mistake. He set the expiration date for the same day as the company's earnings report. Jack was gambling on a big earnings beat, but the stock price dropped dramatically, and Jack's option expired worthless. Jack's losses were piling up, and he was on the verge of financial ruin. He realized too late that options trading was not for the faint of heart. The risk was high, and the potential for loss was significant. Jack had learned his lesson the hard way. Options trading was not for him. Chapter 4. John had always been interested in the stock market, but the idea of risking his hard-earned money was too daunting for him. He had heard stories of people losing everything they had invested, and he couldn't afford to take that kind of risk. One day, while browsing the internet, John stumbled upon an article about trading options. It seemed like a great way to make money without risking too much. He read about virtual trading and the test trading strategy, and he was intrigued. He decided to give it a shot and opened a test trading account. He set up his watch list with the help of the article, adding SPY, QQQ, DJIA, and SPX. He also added some individual stocks that he had heard about and was interested in. John spent the next few weeks practicing with virtual money, buying and selling stocks and options. He found that he had a knack for it and was able to make a decent profit. After a few weeks of virtual trading, John felt confident enough to try real trading. He took the money he had saved up and invested it in a few options. He used the test trading strategy to make his trades and was careful not to risk too much. To his surprise, John's trades were successful, and he made a profit. He continued to use the test trading strategy in virtual trading to hone his skills and make more trades. Over time, John became an expert at trading options. He was able to make a steady income from his trades and even managed to grow his savings. He no longer felt like the stock market was a risky gamble but instead saw it as an opportunity to make money. John had found a way to avoid risking too much and still make a profit. He had learned that with the right tools and strategies, trading options could be an excellent way to increase his income and savings. Chapter 5. Meet Julia, a 25-year-old recent college graduate who dreams of becoming a successful investor. Julia has always been interested in finance, but she never had the chance to learn about trading until after college. She spent long hours learning the ropes of trading and investing, but she still felt uncertain about where to start. One day, she stumbled upon a website that offered virtual trading tools to help new traders practice their skills without risking real money. Excited to test the waters, Julia set up a test trading account and began adding stocks to her watch list. Julia was determined to find stocks that met the criteria for her watch list. She searched for stocks that were at least $50 per share, highly traded, and held by mutual funds, indexes, banks, and hedge funds. She added popular stocks like Apple, Amazon, and Netflix, as well as lesser-known but promising stocks like MasterCard and Tesla. The night before the market opened, Julia prepared her test trading account and adjusted her parameters. She made sure her paper account had at least $100,000 to allow for buying many different stocks without limitations. She checked the stock quotes on her watch list to get an idea of how the market might develop. The next morning, Julia eagerly watched as the stock market opened. She placed a market order to buy 100 shares of each stock on her watch list. Julia focused on finding winning stocks, whether they moved up by $1 or 1%. As she watched closely, Julia noticed that some stocks were reversing direction or not keeping up. She took note of these patterns, and soon enough, the real winners began to reveal themselves. Julia's heart raced with excitement as she began to make successful trades, earning money and building her confidence. Julia continued to practice with her test trading account, refining her strategies and finding new opportunities. She realized that virtual trading was not just a great way to learn the ropes, but it could also save her a lot of trouble and lost money when she started real trading. With her newfound skills and experience, Julia felt ready to take on the real market. She knew that the risks and complications of trading options could be daunting, but if managed correctly, options could be an excellent way to increase her income or savings. Julia was ready to make her mark on the trading world, one successful trade at a time. Chapter 6. Emma was an experienced stock trader, but she had never seen a morning like this. As the clock struck 9:30 a.m., the market was in chaos. Some stocks were surging, while others were plummeting, and she could hardly keep up with the rapid changes. She tried to keep her cool and remember the test trading strategy she had meticulously planned the night before. She knew that in order to make successful trades, she needed to find the stocks that would steadily increase throughout the day. But as she watched the chaos unfolding on her computer screen, she felt herself getting caught up in the frenzy. As the morning progressed, Emma noticed a few stocks starting to pull ahead of the pack. They were climbing steadily, despite the market's volatile fluctuations. She took a deep breath and reminded herself to stick to the strategy. She honed in on these winning stocks, analyzing their movements with a laser focus. She noticed that, despite the chaos of the market, these stocks continued to increase in value. She knew that she had found her winners. Emma quickly sprang into action, employing the 5-call probe strategy she had prepared. She bought 5 call options for each of the winning stocks, making sure to buy them at a price lower than the market value of the underlying stock. As she watched the calls, Emma felt a surge of excitement. The calls were profitable, making her anywhere from $100 to $300 per option. She knew that she was on to something big. With her confidence soaring, Emma decided to take the plunge and leave the test trading account behind. She was ready to invest in the real brokerage. She felt like she was on the verge of something huge, like she had cracked the code to successful stock trading. But little did she know, there was someone else watching her every move. Someone who was more experienced, more ruthless, and more willing to do whatever it takes to come out on top. Someone who was about to turn the tables on Emma, in a way she could never have anticipated. Chapter 7. Katie had been waiting for this moment for months. She had read every book, watched every video, and listened to every podcast about trading. Now, she was ready to take the leap and use her own money to buy call options in her real brokerage account. She sat down at her computer, logged in, and began to browse the options chain for potential winning stocks. Her heart was pounding with excitement as she found a stock that met all her criteria. It was time to open her first position. But then she remembered the 5-minute rule. She took a deep breath and went through the steps, double-checking everything before pressing the enter key. As she examined the fine print surrounding the option, her eyes widened in horror. She had almost entered 100 call contracts instead of the 10 she meant to. She quickly corrected the mistake and moved on to the next step. Checking the bid-ask price, she saw that the spread was too wide. She knew better than to try to make a profitable trade in these conditions. She sighed and went back to the options chain to find another stock to trade. Placing a limit order was the easy part, but reviewing the stock charts was where things got tricky. As she looked over the charts one last time, she noticed a tiny detail she had missed before. It was enough to make her doubt her initial observations. She knew she could take 5 more minutes to review the charts and confirm her findings, but what if she missed out on a life-changing market fluctuation in that time? She felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. In the end, she decided to stick to the 5-minute rule and take her time. It was better to be safe than sorry, she told herself. She completed her final check and pressed the enter key with a sense of relief. As she watched the stock price tick up, her heart filled with excitement once again. She had made her first trade in her real brokerage account, and it was a success. She smiled to herself, knowing that the 5-minute rule had saved her from making costly mistakes. She was ready to take on the market and make a fortune, one winning stock at a time. Chapter 8. Sophie had been studying the market trends for weeks, and finally, she had identified a winning stock that was trending upwards. She had meticulously gone through all the steps of the test trading strategy, and felt confident in her decision to buy a call option. But she knew there were always risks involved in any investment strategy, and trading options was no exception. As the days went by, Sophie kept a close eye on the stock's performance. The first few days were promising, and she watched as the stock's value continued to rise. But on the 4th day, she woke up to a market that had taken a turn for the worse. Her winning stock had suddenly reversed direction and was now trending downwards. Sophie felt her heart sink as she realized she could lose a lot of money if she didn't act quickly. She knew she needed an exit plan and remembered the 2 instruments she had learned about: time stops and stop losses. She quickly set a time stop for her trade, deciding to sell her option automatically if the stock didn't bounce back within the next hour. She also set a stop loss, ensuring that she wouldn't lose more than $50 on the trade. As she waited, the minutes seemed to drag on endlessly. But finally, the time stop was triggered, and Sophie breathed a sigh of relief as she watched the stock's value drop, but not enough to surpass her stop loss. She had managed to save herself from deeper losses, thanks to the safety mechanisms she had put into place. Sophie learned a valuable lesson that day. Even with all the tests in the world, there was always a chance that a winning stock could reverse direction. But with a solid exit plan in place, she had managed to minimize her losses and come out relatively unscathed. As she turned off her computer at the end of the day, she took a few minutes to evaluate her trades and take note of her successes and failures. She knew that with each trade, she was becoming a more proficient options trader, and that was a win in itself. Summary. Trading options can be extremely lucrative, but it's also really easy to make silly mistakes. And let's face it, nobody wants to lose their hard-earned cash just because they didn't have the right strategy in place. That's where the test trading strategy comes in. It's a game changer. By identifying which stocks are going to make you the most profit each day, you'll have a winning edge. And when you use virtual trading to probe the winners and the 5-minute rule to avoid any careless mistakes, you'll be unstoppable. But here's the thing. Some traders get emotionally attached to certain options, and that can lead to some disastrous results. It's called revenge trading, and it's a big no-no. If you suffer a loss while trading, don't try to make it right with the same underlying stock. Take a break, walk away, and come back with a clear head. Trust me, revenge trading is a recipe for disaster. So, there you have it, my lovely trading friend. Use the test trading strategy, avoid revenge trading, and you'll be well on your way to becoming a trading superstar. Happy trading! Now, the insights and knowledge I gained from reading Make Money Trading Options were phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more great content. Trust me, you won't regret it.